Okay, this is it. We're back at Nassau Coliseum. This one is for all the marbles. This is game seven. And there's so much that I had thought about this morning that I wanted to say about this. I really have to get this project done and out of the way um, in order to focus on some other things that I want to do going forward. So normally I like to keep my options open and choose between, one of a few things when it comes to doing my following video. But I don't know, to kick off the weekend, this one just made perfect sense. So yeah, it is. Anyway, the Stanley Cup is here for Game Seven. I don't think I'm going to have this on display during the game itself, though, because I got another idea actually of something to add to just add to the presentation here. And actually, I'm going to pause the camera momentarily and do that now. So be right back. Okay, I hope this is easy enough to see on camera. So what I've done here, I got a question, a comment in the last shootout game that I posted, and I thought this might be a little bit more helpful if I actually put here the numbers, like the scoring chance, the range, or whatever you want to call it. So Montreal here, even strength, they can score on a card flip from 1 to 22. Or I shouldn't say they can score, they have a scoring chance from 1 to 22. Whereas the Islanders from 84 to 00, that would be like 100, they have a scoring chance, even strength. These are power plays. So with Montreal, it's 37 or below in the power play, and for the Islanders, 69 or above on the power play. And if it's like a two-man advantage, then I forget, actually, arbitrarily I just had 5 or 10 to that. It's actually quite rare that it comes up a two-man advantage in this game. And then shorthanded again, it may or may not be in line with the original rules. How I've always played it is just because I like shorthanded chances, but I don't get many shorthanded goals. So I have my own little ways of playing with the rules that allow for more shorthanded chances, but probably, if anything, fewer shorthanded goals. Probably about the same number of shorthanded goals, whereby just a straight 84 to 100 would be a shorthanded chance for the Islanders if Montreal was on the power play and a card 84 or greater came up. Anyways, game seven, game seven, game seven, game seven, game seven, game seven, game seven. Um, yeah, I actually have chills about this one. Anyway, so I guess it's time to drop the puck here. Montreal is going to mention off the top as well. They are 2-1 at Nassau Coliseum so far in this series. However, the Islanders, even somewhat more surprisingly, are 2-1 at the Montreal Forum in this series. Logically, where this is Game 7, that does mean that the series is tied at 3. I knew that I figured I did not have to write that down like I normally would here on this little whiteboard. It's 3-3. That's the only way that there's one way to get to a Game 7, and that's it. And sorry, just trying to get it all in there. And so looking at the pregame numbers, they favor Montreal, not by a whole lot, because actually with Game 6 at the Montreal Forum, these numbers favor Montreal a lot greater. But as we saw, Long Island ended up winning the game. So really, just because one team is favored to win, they're kind of the odds in favor to win or whatever, absolutely does not mean that they're necessarily going to. And that is just one of many great things about this game. You can get a great variety of outcomes with this game, as really hockey should be. I mean, even if the better team will beat a team that isn't as good more often than not, it's a game where anything can happen, and that should be the case, and it is the case here. So, all right, here we go. Opening puck drop. 79, so it's going to be 3 minutes off the clock here to kick things off. And yeah, another thing actually I was going to say, and I'll try to talk and play at the same time, though, as I've said before, it isn't my strength, is like, this might be a fake game, but the feelings are real. This is very real. Like, I have chills right now. I'm sorry, I know I'm such a geek, I'm such a dork. I had chills off camera playing at the end of season 1. It was Game 7 between Montreal and Boston. It went to overtime, only a minute in sudden death, and then Steve shut things down there in the 71 Boston Bruins. But it's how I've explained it to people that are like, oh, you play a game with cards and numbers and dice, and what's the enjoyment in that or whatever. It's like, you buy in. There's a story here, and you buy into it. A book. What is a book? I guess pre-Kindle era or whatever tablet you might want to use to read. A book is really just a mess of ink and paper in your hands. Just like these cards are just ink on paper. But there's a story there, and you buy into the story. And so with this one here, I definitely buy in. This is a great game and engine that I believe with a little imagination allows one to buy in very easily. So once again, we're 3 minutes here. Sorry for that little delay or whatever. So we're going to go 72. That's not a scoring chance for either side. We take 4 more minutes off the clock. Down to 13 minutes. Bit of a tentative start here to this one so far, through 6 at least. 88, that will be a scoring chance for Long Island. First chance of the game. Hey, that's going to be Mike Bossy. Mike Bossy, he has the puck in the slot. And the New York Islanders are going to get on the board first here in Game 7. It's going to be 1-0. Mike Bossy with the goal. Let's see. Bossy, who went quiet there for at least a game or two, though he is leading the playoffs in goals and points. So L2DB, we're going to go L1DB. We might give Morrow the assist here. Bossy, the right wing, can assist on his own goal. Left defenseman, so I will actually give the assist there. I'm going to say Mike Bossy from Ken Morrow, who doesn't get a lot of ice time, but does contribute offensively. Pardon me here for a moment while I write that down. I do want to take notes here away from the camera. So it's going to be Mike Bossy. Normally I don't do first names and last, but I'm just I'm jittery. Anyway, so it's going to be Bossy from Ken Morrow here, getting the Islanders up by 1. So we play on. We have, and I just want a great game. I don't want a dud like we had in Game 5, where Montreal won and it was decisive. And anyway, so 11 to go here in the first period. That's going to be another chance here for Long Island. Oh boy. Player B this time. Player B is Brian Trottier. Islanders top line here, putting the pressure on early. From the faceoff circle, Trottier scores. Look at this. It's 2-0 here for Long Island. Okay, so just over 9 minutes in, and actually I didn't flip for seconds, so I'm going to take the number of seconds off the next couple of cards, the assist flips. And I'm going to, speaking of flips, actually, I forgot to mention pregame flips. Billy Smith is in goal here. Goodness, I knew I was going to forget some things. Smith is in goal here, Dryden. It's because I shaved. It's because I showered and I shaved, and I wasn't going to, and I shouldn't have shaved the playoff beard, which for me at like age 37 is similar to like Sidney Crosby at age 19, his 2006-2007 playoff run. But I am pretty squeaky clean here and clean shaven. And I'm going to blame that here. We got Dryden in goal for Montreal. We have Billy Smith. I will be honest, Rolly Melanson came up in the flip. I did decide to go with Smith. It's really a toss-up between the two. Smith has better rebound control. Melanson has better save numbers. Smith, however, did get them back into the series and did get that big win in Game 6 in Montreal. So, I mean, again, what would you do if this was actually real? You'd go with Billy Smith, I would think, here for Game 7. Provided he's healthy and everything like that. So anyway, like I said, Trottier with the goal. It was Trottier in the faceoff circle getting the goal. And so I'll take the time off this one, actually. So we'll say at 11:35, and I'll give the time to Bossy's. He scored about 2 minutes earlier, a minute and a half, we'll say. So 13:08, that's just how I do it. And this will, some people would maybe flip after the period for seconds. I've done that before too. This is the assist flip here. So L2D2, we're going to look at L1D2. Trottier, once again, he can't assist on his own goal. We're going to get another single assist goal, and actually it's going to be Bossy with his second point of the game. So Trottier from Bossy here, 8:25 into the first period. It's 2-0 New York Islanders. We're going to take another minute off the clock here, so we're about midway through the first period. And it's going to be a penalty for Long Island here. X and Y2. So we look here, do the Islanders have an X? Do they have a Y2? They don't have either, so we play on. They managed to escape with one here. So it's going to be 2 more off the clock now. We're down to 8 minutes. And let's see here. Goodness. Okay, focus. 27 is no scoring chance for either side. So we're going to take 2 more off the clock here. 6 minutes to go. 6 and some change here in the period. Potentially another penalty to the Islanders. X and Y2, once again, they're going to get lucky here. They're going to get the benefit, the lucky Long Island. So we're going to take 3 more off the clock here. We're down to 3 minutes now in the first period. 98, that's going to be another scoring chance for MYI. It's going to be player B, that's Trottier, looking for another. Trottier from the face-off circle again. He scores a third goal. Look at this. It's 3-0 Long Island here in Game 7. Brian Trottier putting the Islanders up by 3. Let's see here. Trottier with his second of the night, and we're going to flip for assist. I'll take the 32. We'll say at 3:32, so that'd be 16:28 into it. And L2D2, so once again, I'm looking at L1D2. 6 is Bossy, and RW is Bossy also, so Bossy making sure that he really gift-wrapped this one here for Trottier. 3.5 minutes to go, and we play on. We're going to get down to 1 minute to go in the period. I do play it right out. I know Dave Gardner does similar. A minute to go in the period here. 78, no scoring chance for either side. And that's 1 minute. So we're down to literally the final minute here in the first frame. And 37, that's going to be no chance either way. If this is a 0 card, I will flip for 1 chance further. If it isn't, then we go into intermission, and that's a minute. So we go into intermission after 20 minutes here. It's 3-0 Long Island. Hey, back for period 2. Another sip of brew, coffee. And let's see, that's actually instant, but I make instant really well. So anyway, it's possible to do. It is possible to It's just to get it just right. I think I do. Anyway, for my own taste. So we're back here for period two. It's 3-0 New York Islanders after one. We can look at my chicken scratches there. It's we have Bossy from Kem Morrow there with just under 7 minutes in to the contest, and then was Trottier from Bossy a minute and a half after that. Later on in the frame, Trottier once more struck from Bossy. I should give Bossy a second assist. So a 3-point night right now for Mike Bossy, who already leads the postseason in scoring. I did my best to shuffle thoroughly, like with multitasking. It certainly is not my strength, but if I'm shuffling bad, I'm shuffling equally bad for all sides involved. So we play on. Another 3 off the clock here to kick things off in period two. 3-0 Long Island. Let's see here, 67, that will be no chance either way. Still 3 minutes in, though. We still could get a chance. No, we do not. It's going to be 2 more off the clock now. 15 to go here in period two. And 10, that's going to be a chance finally for Montreal. Montreal player K, they did not get a chance the first period. Tremblay's had a good playoff so far. Tremblay's at the blue line this time, and he doesn't score there from the blue line. But I will take a moment to note, if I may, that Tremblay did get Montreal's really first scoring chance of the game so far. A shaky start for the Habs here. So another minute comes off the clock here. 14 to go in the second period. And let's see, we're going to see 85, that's going to be another chance here for Long Island. Long Island, player A, once again, Mike Bossy. Could this be shades of what happened here relatively early in period one? It's going to be Bossy. This time in the face-off circle, though, that does give me some relief. And yes, I am shaking a little here. But that's going to be a goal from the face-off circle. So Mike Bossy, my goodness, it's 4-0 Long Island here. I am saying nothing, and I won't even say why I'm saying nothing. But Mike Bossy here, I'll tell you, the thought that I just had is that Montreal has had very strong, and this isn't wishful or hopeful thinking, other than for wanting this to be a competitive game, of course, is that Montreal has been pretty strong in the latter half of games in this series. So we'll see if that comes into play here. There is magic in these 100 cards. Hockey history is contained in these 100 cards. And we're going to take the 41 seconds off the clock there. Number 41, number Paul Byron. I'm not sure if he would have wanted to have been part of this game or not, if he could go back in time. Anyway, so Bossy with a second, and for BD1, we're going to go with, Bossy doesn't play from the bench, so it's going to be Clark Gillies getting an assist here, picking up a point in the line, so that'll be Trottier with, I think, his third of the night. Gillies here, he's been struggling offensively in the playoffs. I've mentioned it before. His line, however, we can't speak for the rest of his line because Trottier, that'll be his his second assist of the night, third point of the contest. Bossy's sitting on 2-2 here, 4-point night so far. And we're going to play forward. That's going to be 2 more minutes off the clock. So we're down to 12 minutes. And let's see here. 93, that's another chance for the Islanders. Player N is Wayne Merrick on the fourth line. Wayne Merrick in the slot, of course. And Wayne Merrick manages to score. Okay, it's 5-0 Long Island. I am not sad. I am surprised. This is the tone of surprise. Once again, I did not manipulate the cards. So at 12, we'll say at 12:42, a minute and 59 seconds after Bossy scored to put the Islanders up by 4. They're now up by a handful. So we flip for assist. L2D1, Wayne Merrick rather plays on line 4. So no player 6 there for the assist, and Merrick is the left wing. I'm going to say Merrick unassisted here. And Merrick unassisted here with 12:42 to go in the period. I'll just put a UA there for unassisted. Not that you needed to know that. We're going to take 2 more minutes off the clock. We are now halfway through the game. And probably if you had me guess at like 10 different outcomes through 30 of 60, this would not have come up in my top 10 or even top 20 or 30 anywhere. We're looking at a 5-0 Long Island game here in Game 7. So with 10-22, that is a scoring chance for Montreal. My goodness, Montreal. V, that's Doug Risebrough, who has had a good playoff so far. Risebrough from the face-off circle. There's going to be a rebound. Billy Smith, we're looking at a 4 here, his rebound rating. And 1 left wing, so Risebrough and then Cornway with the rebound here mid-game. Montreal trying to get something going here from the third line. And it's Risebrough with the scoring chance and Cornway with the rebound and Billy Smith keeping the door shut. And probably hacking Cornway's skate as he goes by, trying to slow down the road runner. Anyway, another minute off the clock. Battle and Billy there coming up big. 70, that's going to be no scoring chance for either side. Still, though, just the 1 minute off the clock, 39, still no chance for either side. 3 more come off the clock. We're down to 6 minutes to go here in the second period. And that could be a penalty to Long Island. They escaped a couple of them in the first period. XY2, let's see here. There is no X on Long Island. There is no Y2 on Long Island. The referees are keeping their whistles in their pockets. So 3 more come off the clock. Yeah, the officiating's been very lax in this one. No penalties called thus far. So three to go here. And 94, what do you know? That's going to be a chance for Long Island. Rare this time, rare. So what I do, and I do this my own way, I couldn't even tell you whether or not this is in the rules. I just figured out that when a rare comes up, I'm just going to flip and look at rare play in the following card. Penalty shot is good. So we have a penalty shot here, and it will be a Long Island penalty shot. Let's see who took it and converted on it. We have player Q. Player Q here for Long Island. It's going to be Thomas Janssen here scoring on a penalty shot. So we have Thomas Janssen with his first of the contest here, and that's on a penalty shot. Didn't I say off the top that anything can happen in a hockey game? It is now 6-0 Long Island here in Game 7. So I'm sorry. I did not expect this. I'll even take the seconds there. We'll say it with 3 minutes and 47 seconds to go. After me speaking a little too soon there about lax officiating, Thomas Janssen, they don't put Montreal in the box for two. They award him a penalty shot. He makes good on it. He fools Ken Dryden, and we play on. I'm almost wondering now if I should pull Dryden for Larocque, and Larocque actually can stop at least as well. His save rating actually, I think, would average out to be something quite similar, if not actually it'd be a little better than Dryden's. But I mean, the two on rebounds, I don't know. Montreal, I mean, they're going to dance with the goalie that brought them here. So just over 3 minutes to go here in the period. We're going to take two. That's going to put it down to just over one, and that's going to be a scoring chance for Montreal. They're only down by 6. Player M, that is, who's Player M? Why am I not seeing Player M on Montreal? This has been such a crazy game. Doug Jarvis, of all people here from line 4. They got to go with Doug Jarvis. Apparently, it's nap time for the top 6. Doug Jarvis here from the blue line, of course, and he's not going to be able to convert from there, but I mean, what can you do? You can't get goals without chances, so it's Doug Jarvis here with about a minute and change here to go. That's another minute. We're going to take it right down to the 0 minute, the final minute of the first period. We could have a penalty finally to Long Island, a VZ2. Do they have some Vs in the lineup? Do they have any Z2s in the lineup? Let's see. Look at that. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? No Vs and no Z2s. So we play on. They get away with it. Once again, if it's a 0 minute, I play on. If it's not, I go into intermission. And so 2 here, that just means that they're in the second intermission. All right, we're back for period 3 of Game 7, and I'm speechless again. Might have had a thought or two going through my mind as I was shuffling and sipping some iced coffee here, but yeah, what can I say? I mean, really, what can I say at this point? This has been, I don't know, just quite an incredible contest for, more than one reason. I just had the thought go through my mind that actually a book that I read in my childhood was The Incredible Islanders. They have done incredible things here. The Incredible Islanders was a really good book, actually, about their, I think, circa 72 through 75 early era New York Islanders, and it talked about the expansion, their expansion woes those first couple of seasons. And then when they were the first team since the 1942 Leafs to defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins, coming back from down 3-0 in the series, coming back, winning the best of 7. They did it to the Penguins, and they almost then did it to the Flyers in the following round. The Philadelphia Flyers that went on to win the Stanley Cup this season. That's an unintentional history lesson here mid-video, but anyway, really, really good stuff. And the Islanders have done that here. I mean, I really should not speak too soon because I have talked about how the Habs have had really good period 3s. They would need like the greatest period 3 ever to get 6 goals or greater in a 20-minute time frame. But we will play on. That's why we play the games. But the Islanders, who were eliminated actually in round 1 of season 1 in 5 games, they kind of limped their way into the playoffs. They only won 2 games in the final 15 of the 24-game regular season. Don't ask me how that happens. It was really close. But this season here in season 2, they did finish first overall in the 24 games by a little bit. And so, I mean, they're looking pretty legit right now. So anyway, 3 off the clock here in the third period. That's going to hurt Montreal here. They really need a lot of 1s and 0s here for the time flips. 11, that will be a chance for Montreal, though that is a start. Player I is going to be Larry Robinson. Big Bird has had enough of this. And so player I, Larry Robinson. Larry Robinson's in the slot, and he's decided he has to play forward because no one else in Montreal will. So it's going to be Larry Robinson here just around 3 minutes in the third period. I'll take the 52, actually. We'll say 2:08. And L1D2, that will actually be L1D1. There is no R5 on L1. And left wing on line 1, so it's going to be Robinson from Steve Shutt here, 2:08 into the third period. So it's 17:52 to go. Anyway, whoops. Okay, so Billy Smith shutout. At least they did something about that. Billy Smith will not get a shutout in this game, but It's going to be two more off the clock here. We're down to 15 minutes. And let's see here. Penalty B versus home and away. So we could get a bit of a brouhaha. It's going to be 1-2-5 for fighting. Neither team has that. And 3-3, 5 plus 10. Montreal doesn't have a three-player though, nor does Long Island. So some shenanigans, but the referees, the officials get a handle on it, and we play on. We're going to take three more off the clock here and bring it down to 12. And again, if that isn't how it is played, that is how I always play it. So I really should do the Dave Gardner disclaimer off the top of my videos, and I tell myself to do that time and again. He's really, really good about that. Just before a game, he will say, like, look, this is how I play the game. This may not be 100% consistent with everything that is in the rules, but this is how I play it. And I think any avid hockey game player sort of comes up with their own nuances and their own ways to play the games. But we play on. That was 3 minutes off the clock, and I do remember 80 in the shenanigans there, although that is also a lot of threes and 80s cards here. Where's that 3-3? That 3-3 is right there. So we're going to take three off the clock here. Again, it's easy enough to go back and check. So 42, that's going to be a penalty to Montreal, just what they need at this time. Y and Z, Riseborough's a Z. So anyway, Montreal's going to go to the box for a pair now. Evidently a little frustrated here. Who could blame them? They are down by 5. So 2 minutes here now. The Islanders have a power play, a chance to go back up by half a dozen. The first power play minute, there is nothing. Again, we're looking at 69 or higher here because they're on 5-on-4. And the 64 is also just outside of that. So Montreal, if nothing else, does kill the penalty. 10 minutes to go, and we're going to take one more minute off the clock. We're now down to 9 minutes here. Montreal running out of time, but this is a scoring chance for them. Player Q is going to be player Q. Where are you? Serge Savard here. Montreal's defense. Serge Savard actually sneaks up. He's in the slot, and Serge Savard will get a goal, so it's Montreal. I should change that right away this time so I don't forget to. It's Montreal. Really, what an odd game this is, and this just goes to show you. I've played this probably going on 300 times now, and including, I think, 26 or 27 times on this channel. You can get a very different game every time out, as hockey should be. So I'm going to take the 44 there. I'm going to say with 9:44 to go, it's Serge Savard here, getting Montreal's second goal of the game. And L3D1, and we'll say L3D2, RD, that is Savard, setting himself up there. Evidently, maybe he banked it off the boards and then took it and fired it. And RW, so what did I say there, actually? I said, I think, what did I say? Let's see, was it L3D1? I'm going to give the assist then to Mario Tremblay on line 3. That seems plausible. He has been quite productive in this series and playoffs, I think, if I recall correctly. So it's going to be Tremblay with the assist here on Savard's goal. And let's see here. That was just the one flip, I think. Yeah, because Savard said, Savard would have been the other assist. So we play on here. That's going to be, goodness, 2 more minutes off the clock now. 7 and some change. And 82, that is just barely outside of Long Island's range. We play on 6 minutes now. Let's see if the Islanders are just playing to kill the clock. And 39, that's no chance either way. So we take another minute off the clock. This is a card that Montreal really could have used. 52, though, that could be a penalty. Watch this be an XY2. It's an RZ, so we look, they do have Rs and Zs. So the second line, someone on the second line, either Goring or Nystrom, but the Islanders in any event, it's going to be... with just 5 to go, actually. So with just over 5 to go, had that been a minute longer, I would not have given them a penalty. Let's see if Montreal can get anything going on the power play at all. They don't in the first power play minute. They do, however, in the second power play minute there by a little bit. Let's see here. Player C is Jacques Lemaire here on the power play. Jacques Lemaire in the slot on the power play. And that will be a power play goal for Jacques Lemaire. So with just over 3 minutes to go here in the game, I'll take the 10 seconds. 3:10 here to go in the third. It's going to be Lemaire on the power play. The Islanders now grateful that they built a lead and built a cushion in the first 40 minutes because we have Lemaire with a power play goal. And I'm still shaking. And let's see here. 6-3 is the score. And L2DB, I really hope I didn't make any mistakes in this one. Goodness. For that. So anyway, we're going to ignore probably both of those, it being a power play. I'll give an assist to Bouchard if it comes up for the defender. 6 is Lafleur with an assist. I think he's playing with sore hands, and there's Lafleur again. Lafleur has not scored in a dog's age in this postseason, but he has been productive. It's just been solely in the assist column so far. So anyway, that is the last card that Montreal wanted to see. Now, because this is shootout and this is period 3, I guess this will technically be the final card. And I guess I could have technically pulled the goalie or whatever, although I didn't announce pulling the goalie, so I'm sorry, that doesn't count. That's not going to be an empty goal for Long Island. It is 6-3 here. Montreal cut Long Island's lead in half in the third period. I think in the end, if I'm being realistic, it's going to matter a little here, but we're going to say that since I didn't announce pulling the goalie, you tell me if this is fair. I certainly think it is. We're going to basically the final flip now of the game, and then I will check in the ensuing to see if there are any 0-minute flips. That's just what I call it. That's my jargon. So here, 3, this is a scoring chance for Montreal. And it's player F. Player F on Montreal is Yvon Lambert on the second line. Still even strength, though, technically. Lambert from the face-off circle. And Lambert does not score. So again, if this is not a 0, and I will say that Montreal pulled their goalie for this one. If this is not a 0, however, it is game over. This is a 3. There's nothing either way. So, oh my goodness, here Lambert does not score late, and we have the New York Islanders having won the Stanley Cup. I could not have anticipated this in fill in the blank or whatever, million years, as they say. I just... Wow. So ignore the 92-93 Montreal Stanley Cup. This is a Pez dispenser that's there, and the Stanley Cup is going to Long Island here in Game 7. My goodness, full credit where it is due. They were down 3-2, backs to the wall. They had to go in Montreal for them. Who knows what fate could have been conspiring against them. They're at the form or with them in this case because, hey, they came back from behind and won. They've trailed a couple of times in this series. They are a very resilient hockey team. They finished first overall in the Champions Division, as I mentioned earlier, in Season 2. They totally deserve this. This is absolutely fantastic. And I will, because it just occurred to me and I just sort of re-remembered something, I will say this, and I have said it before. Even though I'm a Habs fan, I have to believe that they can lose this in order to get excited about them winning. So the very fact that the New York Islanders won, that this is a competitive league, that this does feel like this is anybody's contest, once I commence the league and play through the season in the playoffs, you see the proof of this right here. So this Montreal will be back to battle for Season 3. They are robbed of a dynasty. The 77 Habs are robbed of their consecutive Cup victories here in Game 7. They come up short in Game 7 in this one. They had the disadvantage of having to start this series on the road because the Islanders, again, finished first overall and first in the division during the regular season. So this is probably the longest shootout video ever. You'd have to almost try to get to 27 minutes in a game of shootout hockey in a video when you're just flipping cards and talking. However, I have done that here just about. So I guess, it goes without saying that, any time that you give to this, anything that you do, any bit of support, any modicum of support, any commenting, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff, while it's never expected, it's always appreciated. It's all good. And congratulations once again. I really should end by just saying congratulations here to the 1982 New York Islanders. You are the League of Champions and Presidents Cup champions here for Season 2. Bye for now.